Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive.
Great to be back.
So, for anyone tuning in, this is actually our second deep dive. It comes to you from the Potato Podcast by Offending Commit.
That's right.
And look, before we really jump in, it's super important to mention this analysis. It's AI generated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's based on official Palia sources, and it's been trained by Offending Commit, who, just so you know,
Mhm.
is a Palia content creator partner.
And just to be absolutely clear, this isn't, officially affiliated with Singularity 6 or Daybreak Games. It's our own analysis based on the available info.
Exactly. So today's topic, it's a big one.
Definitely. We're diving into the upcoming Elderwood expansion for Palia. It's hitting on May 13th, 2025.
Right. Alongside the console launches PS5 and Xbox Series XS, big day.
Huge. And what we really want to unpack today is how this expansion is going to affect, well, us, the players, who maybe haven't quite finished everything yet.
Yeah, like maybe you're still working through quests or those temple bundles.
Oh, the bundles? Yeah. Or chasing achievements. We want to know how Elderwood fits in if you're not at 100% yet.
And we'll touch on those NPC schedule updates too, right? See how the villagers react.
Absolutely. So our goal here is to give you a really clear picture of what's changing and how it might impact your current game. What you need to focus on, maybe what you don't need to worry about so much.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get into it then. So, for someone like me, still kind of chipping away at the existing stuff, what's the first step into Elderwood? How do we actually get there?
Okay, so getting in seems pretty simple, actually. The entrance, it's up in northern Bahari Bay.
Northern Bahari. Okay.
Yeah, kind of nestled between Tomla's house and the gate to your housing plot. You'll see it there.
Right.
And the good news is everyone gets immediate access. Doesn't matter where you are in the quests.
Oh, nice. So no prerequisites, just to walk in.
Nope, just walk right in. But, and this is a pretty significant, but the patch notes really recommend having fine tools.
Fine tools. Okay. Not just the basic ones.
Right. It's not just a suggestion, it feels like.
Yeah.
It heavily implies that, some of the new resources there, you'll need those fine tools to gather them properly, or at least efficiently.
Makes sense. New zone, tougher materials, probably.
Exactly. And the trailer. It even hinted, maybe, that exquisite tools could be needed later on for some real top-tier stuff, though the notes didn't explicitly say that.
Okay. So fine tools are the baseline to aim for right now.
Definitely. You can wander in without them, sure, but your life will probably be easier if you bring the upgraded gear.
Yeah.
Makes that first trip much smoother.
Okay, got it. Leave the rusty axe at home. So what about quests then? Elderwood's bringing a whole new main story chapter. How does that mesh with, say, the temple quests I'm still working on? Do I need to finish everything with Gina and the vaults before I can really get into the Elderwood story?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? So Elderwood does start a new main story chapter, plus a bunch of new side quests.
Oh.
Now, the game won't physically stop you from entering Elderwood, like we said, but the devs. They're strongly advising, almost urging, players to finish the temple's quest line up to the quest called Rooted in Place.
Rooted in place. Okay, that's the key one.
That's the one. The reason is the new Elderwood story. It's really designed to follow on from that. It picks up those narrative threads from the temples.
Ah, okay. So it's like the next chapter, literally.
Exactly. Think of it as the logical next step in the overall Palia story arc.
Okay, that makes sense. So for anyone who's maybe a bit lost in the quest log, what quests lead up to Rooted in Place? Just so we can check if we're ready.
Good call. Yeah, let's list those out. For that seamless flow into Elderwood's story, you want to have done these pretty much in order. Vault of the Waves,
Okay.
then Vault of the Flames, then Vault of the Gales, and Vault of the Roots.
The four main temples. Got it.
Right. After those is Troubled Waters, then Into the Fire, Up in the Air, and then you hit Rooted in Place.
Perfect. That's a super helpful checklist. I know I'm definitely still somewhere in that Vault of the Gales mess.
Yeah, some of those can be tricky.
So knocking those out sets you up nicely for the new story. Now, what about the Night Sky Temple bundles?
Ah, yes. The bundles.
Those felt like a real grind, especially some of those fish. Are they needed to unlock the main Elderwood story? Please say no. I really don't want to hunt that last fish right now.
Okay, breathe easy on this one. The patch notes are very clear. You do not need to complete the Night Sky bundles for the Elderwood main story.
Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, that's a relief.
It is, right. So if you've been, procrastinating on those, you can jump into the Elderwood story without that hanging over you.
Well, it's
However,
always a however.
there usually is. It's worth knowing that some of the new systems within Elderwood itself, Those will unlock as you progress through the new Elderwood main story.
Okay, so the old bundles aren't a gate, but the new story is a gate for some new Elderwood stuff.
Exactly. So while you don't have to finish the old bundles, you will want to actively play the new quest line once you're in Elderwood to unlock everything the zone has to offer.
Got it. That makes total sense. What if I just want to wander around Elderwood, though? Like, not ready for the main story yet, just exploring. Are there other things to do? Smaller quests, maybe?
Oh, definitely. Elderwood's going to have what they're calling guide quests and discovery quests.
Guide and discovery, okay.
Yeah, these are designed to, like, teach you about the area's lore, its history, and also introduce some of the new gameplay stuff that's unique to Elderwood.
Cool.
And to make it easier, some of these will actually be marked right on your map.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. So even if you haven't hit rooted in place yet,
Hmm.
there should be plenty to just stumble upon and engage with just by exploring the new zone. Sounds like discovery is encouraged for everyone.
Okay, that's good. It means you can dip your toes in, even if you're not quite caught up on the main plot.
Right.
Now, something I'm always curious about with big updates. The NPCs. The villagers. We heard their schedules might change with Elderwood opening up. What's the scoop there? Are they all going to pack up and move north?
Not quite packing up, but yes, the patch notes confirm villager schedules will change.
Okay.
But the specifics, the devs are actually leaving that for us to discover ourselves through gameplay.
Oh, interesting. Like, find out who's hanging out where now?
Exactly. Adds a bit of organic discovery, which is kind of cool, I think. What we do know is that villagers will have new daily dialogue that references Elderwood.
Ah, so they'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Makes the world feel connected.
Right. It sounds like the new zone will be woven into their routines and chats. It'll be interesting to see, who spends more time where, how it changes our usual routes for finding people.
Yeah, definitely keeps things fresh. What else changes with the villagers? Thinking about, like, their weekly wants, gifts, that kind of stuff.
That's a really key point.
Yeah.
So all the new materials you find in Elderwood, they're being added to the pool for weekly wants.
Ah, okay, so they might ask for Elderwood stuff.
Yep. And given it's new, it's likely the tier 3, tier 4 stuff,
Yeah.
maybe a bit harder to get.
Right, higher value ones.
Seems likely. And, absolutely crucial, you can gift these new Elderwood materials to the villagers.
Okay, good. Helps with friendships.
Essential, probably, for relationships, unlocking dialogue, maybe quests down the line.
Yeah.
So yeah, keeping an eye on those weekly wants and maybe saving some new Elderwood finds for gifts, probably a smart move.
Good tip. Start an Elderwood gift stash. Got it. Okay, let's circle back to those bundles, specifically the night sky ones.
The infamous bundles.
Right. I know I'm not alone in being stuck needing, like, one specific fish. Did this update change anything there? Any hope for anglers?
Okay, deep breaths, anglers. This is where it gets really interesting. The patch notes explicitly say, and I quote roughly, most fish required for Night Sky Temple bundles are more likely to appear.
Wait, what? Seriously? More likely?
Yes. They reworked the fishing catch rates quite a bit, and they specifically called out the void ray,
Okay.
the unicorn fish.
No way. The unicorn fish.
Yes. And the ancient fish, all intended to be more likely to bite now.
Oh my god. That unicorn fish has been mocking me for months. There might actually be hope.
It really seems that way. It's a significant change.
And
But,
also, the other shoe.
yeah, it's a big give and take. While those super rare ones are getting easier, the notes also say that the storm ray, the hypnotic moray, and the enchanted pupfish, they're going to be less likely to appear now.
Ah, okay. So they shifted the rarity around if you needed those ones.
Your challenge might have just changed, yeah.
Huh.
But overall, it really does look like they're trying to make finishing those fishing bundles less of a, legendary feat, more achievable.
Okay, I'll take it. A slightly less frustrating fishing experience is always welcome. What about achievements? For the completionists out there aiming for 100%, what's Elderwood adding to that list?
Oh, for the completionists. Elderwood is basically a whole new playground. It introduces a ton of new achievements.
You're covering what kind of stuff?
Pretty much everything in the new zone. All the gathering skills, foraging, hunting, bug catching, fishing in Elderwood, plus crafting the new decor set, and just general exploration achievements for finding things.
So, lots of new goals for people who like ticking boxes.
A significant amount of new content to chase if you're aiming for that full completion. It'll keep people busy for a while, I think.
Are there any cool rewards tied to these? Like specific items you get for finishing an Elderwood collection?
Yes, definitely. They mentioned one specific example. if you get the Master Elderwood Entomologist achievement, which means catching all the star-quality Elderwood bugs.
Okay, a challenge in itself.
Right. Your reward is a new decor item called the Bright-Eyed Shadow Box.
Ooh, nice. Like a display case for bugs.
Sounds like it.
Uh,
And they imply there will be similar unique rewards for other Elderwood collections and achievements. So you get more than just bragging rights. You get actual cool stuff for your house.
nice. Always good motivation. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Existing skills and resources. How does Elderwood impact, say, mining, foraging, hunting? Should we be hoarding pallium or something?
Okay, mining's interesting. Pallium is actually said to become more abundant in Elderwood.
More pallium? Wow.
Yeah, and they're adding dedicated mining nodes just for gold and silver.
Huh. Dedicated gold and silver nodes. That's new.
It is. And it's worth remembering, back in patch 0.180, they tweaked gold earnings from mining a bit. The goal then seemed to be making other gathering skills more competitive for earning gold.
Oh, right. I remember that.
So seeing more pallium plus dedicated gold and silver nodes in Elderwood, it kind of continues that trend of balancing the economy. It might mean that just grinding pallium in Kalimur Bahari isn't going to be the single best way to make money anymore.
So maybe time to dust off the old bug net and fishing rod.
I think that's exactly the takeaway. Foraging, insect catching, hunting, fishing, all those are going to be core to the Elderwood experience. There's a whole new ecosystem of plants, bugs, creatures, fish. And remember, that previous patch also aimed to make gold from those activities more substantial.
Yep.
So doing that stuff in Elderwood, it's likely going to be really rewarding, both resource-wise and gold-wise.
Okay, good to know. Diversify the gathering efforts. What about tools? We mentioned fine tools being recommended. Do we need to panic upgrade everything to exquisite before the 13th?
Fine tools are definitely the strong recommendation, yeah. That's the baseline for efficient gathering there. Now, the patch notes didn't explicitly say exquisite is required.
But the trailer showed them.
Exactly. The trailer showed players using exquisite tools. So my read on that is, you'll probably manage fine with fine tools for a lot of things, but having exquisite might unlock the absolute top-tier resources or just make gathering everything much faster.
So fine tools are the priority. Exquisite is maybe a longer-term goal for Elderwood mastery.
That's how I'd approach it. Better to be a little over-prepared eventually, right?
True. What about gold itself? Should we be saving up like crazy for new recipes or items in Elderwood?
Generally, it actually sounds like we should be earning more gold overall now, thanks to those economy tweaks in patch 0.180.
Oh yeah, the buffs to gathering gold, quest gold.
Right. Buffs to foraging, bugs, hunting, fishing gold, more goals from quests, treasure chests, reduced crafting timers for buildings, which saves money indirectly, more flow-infused wood drops, cheaper copper storage recipe, better treasure chest loot for new players too, and lots of item sell prices went up.
So the economy's generally healthier for players now.
Seems that way. So while having some gold saved is never bad when an expansion drops.
Right, new stuff to buy.
Exactly. But the overall economy seems geared towards players having more cash flow anyway, which could actually help players still trying to buy, say, bundle items or materials they need for older stuff.
That's definitely good news for the bank balance. Now, the topic that never dies in Palia, storage.
Ah, yes. The eternal struggle.
With a whole new zone, new materials, new decor, artifacts, are we going to need like 1,000 more chests? Did they say anything about storage changes? I see people on Reddit already worrying.
You're right. It's the topic on Reddit whenever new stuff is announced. And, look, the official patch notes, they don't explicitly mention increased storage capacity or new storage options coming with Elderwood.
Oh, so no immediate relief mention.
Not explicitly in these notes, no. So with all the new gatherables, crafting bits, decor, artifacts, it's inevitably going to put more pressure on the storage we do have.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So, honestly, probably a really good idea to do some serious inventory spring cleaning before the 13th. Organize, maybe clear out stuff you don't really need, just make some room.
Marie Kondo, the storage chest, Paleo edition.
Pretty much. Because until we hear otherwise, managing what we have efficiently is going to be key.
Okay, noted. Time for some pre-patch tidying. What about brand new players, the console folks joining on the 13th? Do any of these Elderwood changes affect their starting experience?
That's a good point. So patch 0.191 does have some early game improvement, but, and this is key, they're aimed specifically at new players. Like what? Things like revised Welcome to Paley and Learning the Ropes quests, maybe slightly different NPC chats at the very start, introducing housing and skills a bit earlier, just smoothing out that initial onboarding.
But for us, existing players.
For us, no impact. If you're past those very first quests, the early game stuff remains, exactly as you know it. It's just the brand new players will see that slightly different intro.
Got it. New players get a smoother start, veterans keep their existing world. Makes sense. Okay, let's dig into the really new stuff Elderwood brings. We heard about infected essence, artifacts, relics. What are these?
Right, this is where we get some cool new gameplay loops. So Infected Essence, it's a totally new resource you'll find in Elderwood.
Infected? Sounds ominous.
A little, yeah. And gathering, it isn't just like picking flowers. It sounds like you'll need specific Elderwood materials, maybe new equipment, to actually collect it.
Ah, specialized gathering.
Seems like it. And you unlock the ability to gather this essence as you go through the new Elderwood main story.
Okay, tied to quest progression again.
Right. And think of it as a core crafting material. Probably needed for new gear, tools, decor. Maybe related to those relics, too. It seems pretty central to the new systems.
Okay, so keep an eye out for how to gather that. What about the artifacts and relics? Sounds like treasure hunting.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
So artifacts are new collectibles found in Elderwood. The notes mention finding them in hidden Umbrian shrines,
Shrines. Oh,
daily rummage piles you dig up, and maybe even trading for them. Once you collect sets of these artifacts, you take them somewhere that looks like the Elderwood Central Stables near the south exit,
okay.
and you submit them to unlock schematics for relics. Now, relics, these are totally new. They're equipable items that give passive, party-wide buffs.
Whoa, party-wide buffs, like everyone nearby benefits.
Seems that way. You equip them at those stables, and you can even level them up using new things called enchanting and finishing rune stones.
Level up gear for buffs?
Right.
Interesting. Where do we get rune stones?
Some you can buy from Tamala, apparently. Others you earn from quests and achievements in Elderwood. It sounds like a really deep system. Explore, collect artifacts, craft relics, level them up, benefit your whole group.
That sounds like it could really change group play. Very cool. What else is new? Decor. You mentioned decor.
Yes. For the builders and decorators, there's a whole new Elderwood decor set. But unlike the Umbrian set you buy, these recipes are found through exploration.
How does that work?
You find pieces of Umbrian furniture just out on the world in Elderwood, interact with one you haven't found before, and you meet a new pixie character named Binny.
Guinea the pixie. Okay.
Give Binny some of that infected essence we talked about, and Binny teaches you the recipe for that furniture piece.
So exploring plus infected essence new decor recipes.
Exactly. And the game will even help you track which pieces you've found recipes for, which is nice.
Very nice quality of life touch. What about those Umbrian shrines and rummage piles you mentioned for artifacts? How do they work?
Right, more exploration loops. The Umbrian shrines are hidden spots. To use them, you need an offering. A sacred flower.
Sacred flowers.
Right.
Where do we find those?
Various ways. Hidden in Elderwood, quest rewards. Tamala sells some. And you can even get them from hunting the new creatures Ogopuas and Schmoles.
Okay, multiple sources.
Yeah. Offer a flower at a shrine, and you get rewarded with artifacts for those relics and resource packs with Elderwood materials.
Nice little bonus. And the rummage piles.
Rummage piles are different. 2 hidden piles appear daily in Elderwood. You need your hoe to clear them out.
Use the hoe.
And you get rewards. The interesting part, the locations are the same for everyone each day.
Oh, so like a daily community treasure hunt.
Exactly. Could be a fun little daily thing to do.
I like that. You also mentioned shooting things out of trees for forage.
Yes, this sounds fun. So on some pine trees in Bahari and Elderwood, you'll see beehives hanging up there with honey. And on the big ancient trees in Elderwood, you'll find coconuts hanging. Instead of just chopping, you can actually use your bow and arrow to shoot them down.
Shoot nuts out of a tree. Oh.
Or, you can still just chop the tree down like normal to get them. But it adds another kind of interactive way to forage.
I can see myself just firing arrows into trees randomly now. That sounds fun. Anything else majorly new we should know about?
2 more pretty big things, I think. First, courier pets.
Courier pets. Like our pets can carry stuff.
Exactly. Once you unlock it, you get 4 slots initially if you have the Founder's Pack, up to 8 later via an Elderwood quest. You can tell your pet to take a few items straight back to your home storage.
Oh, wow. On a cooldown, I assume?
Yeah, on a cooldown, but still. Super helpful for managing inventory when you're deep in Elderwood, right?
Yeah.
Fewer trips back home.
That is huge GE for long gathering sessions. Amazing. What's the second thing?
Good news for decorators.
Yeah.
The housing plot decor limit is going up from 3,000 items to 3,500.
Yes. More decorating space. That's always welcome.
Definitely. So pets, helping with loot, more decor space, some nice quality of life stuff mixed in with all the new content.
It really sounds like it. And they added something to help track all this new stuff.
Yeah, apparently there's a dedicated Elderwood page in the player menu now,
Hmm.
kind of like the central hub to see all the new systems, track your progress, see what's available to do in the zone.
Okay, that's smart. Helps organize all the new things. So let's try and summarize this for someone still working through the older content.
Right. Key takeaways.
Okay, you can get into Elderwood on May 13th, no problem. But definitely want fine tools.
Minimum. Yeah.
And finishing the main temple's quest line up to Rooted in Place is highly recommended if you want the new story to make sense.
Crucial for the narrative flow.
Good news, Night Sky bundles are not required for the new story.
Big relief for many.
But you will need to do the new Elderwood story to unlock some of the new Elderwood systems, like maybe gathering infected essence or dealing with relics.
Right. New story unlocks new mechanics.
Fishing for those old bundle fish might get easier for some, like the unicorn fish,
Fingers crossed.
but harder for others. And completionists. Get ready for a ton of new achievements and collections in Elderwood.
Lots to do there. New decor rewards, too.
Expect NPC schedules to change. Gotta rediscover their routines. And all the new resources means storage management becomes even more critical. Maybe do a clear out beforehand.
Definitely tidy up those chests.
So overall, it sounds like Elderwood isn't just tacked on, it's woven into the existing game, right?
Yeah, exactly. It looks designed to integrate really well, gives you huge new areas and adventures, but also makes you use your existing skills in new ways, maybe revisit old areas for new reasons like those pine trees.
And the changes to fishing, mining, the economy,
Hmm.
they might kind of subtly nudge how you approach finishing that older content too.
Absolutely. It's all interconnected. It's about balancing, finishing up old goals while diving into all the exciting new stuff Elderwood offers.
Well, this has been incredibly helpful. Seriously, it feels like I have a much clearer picture of what to expect now as someone who's definitely not finished with everything Palia already has.
Glad we could help clarify things. It does sound like a massive, really exciting update, whether you're jumping in fresh on console or you're a veteran still hunting that last recipe.
For sure.
And obviously, for everyone listening, dig into those official patch notes. Check out the Reddit discussions, the forums. There are always more details to find.
Yeah, the community is going to pick this apart piece by piece, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And as you all start playing in Elderwood, share your experiences, ask questions. It's going to be fun figuring it all out together.
Definitely. Well, on that note, I think that wraps up this deep dive. Thanks so much for walking us through all that.
My pleasure. Lots to look forward to.
For sure. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.